Hello, dreamers. My name's Lisa, and I'm the Dreamwork coach. It's nice to be back here making YouTube videos. I know I've been kind of MIA lately. I've had a lot on my plate lately, but I realize that's no excuse. So, shout out to my new friend, Yachts. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm not even going to attempt your last name. I am sorry, but I will tag you in a post so you can see this video. We had a nice little Zoom discussion about chiromancy and, making time to do the things we love and all that stuff. So I'm just going to jump right in. What is chiromancy? So chiromancy is a term that Robert Moss coined, and it basically refers to starting to recognize meaningful coincidences and reading the world around you in signs and synchronicities. It's all about active dreaming, right? It's all about dreaming while awake. So today I went out and I asked the universe a question. The question was, where is the rest of me? And I asked that question because it's part of a class I'm taking. And that was the question that we were supposed to be putting out to the universe this week to get answers to. So I put that question out and then went out and asked the universe for some signs. And I took the first 3 things that I saw and interpreted them like they were oracle cards. And then I ended up on a Zoom call with a friend of mine who dabbles in numerology. It was a fun day, so you'll get to watch all of that. All right, let's get into it. I'm just going to go ahead and play the clips from today, and I will see you at the end. Bye. Gotta wave bye to the puppies. I'm going to just start driving and listening and watching and seeing what I come across. The first 3 things that stand out to me, no matter what they are. And then I will use those to kind of create a little 3-part oracle reading, and we'll interpret it like we would a dream. All right, so here we go. I gotta sneeze. Ooh. So the first thing I just noticed, and it triggered a memory from my dream last night actually, was I missed my turn because I was messing with my camera. Chiromancy's dangerous. I missed my turn because I was messing with the camera, and where I would have turned, there was a car turning out of that road, and it had a huge, really huge white dog in the back seat with his head out the window. It was a really big dog. And that reminded me of a clip of a dream I had last night where there was this huge white dog. So that's my first sign. Ooh, second sign. Dead squirrel right in the middle of road. All right, so we have big white dog, dead squirrel in middle of road, like went right between my tires. It's not a very pleasant one. So let's see if we get a third. Oh, second dead squirrel right in the middle of the road. Holy shit. All right, let's count that second oracle as 2 dead squirrels in the middle of the road. I keep seeing the number 8 everywhere, so that is probably our third one. I'm not sure. Like I just see, it seems to be popping out to me in different addresses and signs. I just keep, there's another 8. So 8 is probably it. I think I might try something else, like I might try turning on the radio and seeing what we come up with. But for 1 second, I gotta check my map. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna turn the radio on and see if anything pops up here. Let's see what happens. I can't tell what they're saying. Beatles. 8 days a week. Whoa! The number 8. That's the. All right. The number 8 is it. So wow, cool. All right. The number 8. That is definitely the next one. The Beatles song confirms it. 8 days a week. And you know what? It's funny because I feel like I've been working 8 days a week lately. It's been insane. You're on the road with me because I don't have time to sit in the studio and make videos at the moment. So, all right. I have a white dog. I have, this is such an unflattering angle of me, I'm sorry. But I have a white dog, 2 dead squirrels, and the number 8. All right. We will think about what this means. Then I'm going to log out now because I have to focus on driving. All right. Bye. All right, so here we are with Sarah. Whenever I have a number pop up, I want to ask you like what it means because you're always spot on. Like it's always spot on. So At this point in the video, everyone will already have seen the journey I've taken to get here with you, but I'm going to tell you now because you have no idea what I've been up to today.
Right. So, lay it on me.
All right. So in Robert's class that we're taking right now, Dream Teacher Training 2, our home play assignment was to ask the universe, where is the rest of me? So I dream incubated on this last night, and I woke up and I couldn't really remember my dreams. I was tired and lazy and I didn't write them down and I couldn't remember them. So this morning I decided that I would go out and play, the Sidewalk Oracle game, where I just go out and I put that phrase out to the world. And then I decided the first 3 things that stand out to me, I will take those and use them basically as oracle cards and then interpret them, in relation to that question I asked. So the first thing that I noticed when I was messing around with my camera, because I'm filming this for YouTube, right, is that I passed the road I should have turned down because I'm messing with my camera. And as I drove by the road, a car pulled up on that road I would have turned down, when there was this huge white dog in the back, very large dog, and his head sticking out the window. And it's very comical because the car is small and the dog is huge. And it triggered a dream memory from last night because I couldn't remember my dreams. And in my dream last night, I dreamed about a very large white dog. It had like brown spots on him, but he was mostly white. And this dog, I was outside in someone's yard. I wanted to weed whack it, which I've never weed whacked in my life. But in my dream, I'm like, I'm going to weed whack this yard. And this white dog comes charging at me. And I put my arms out and I'm like, yay. And in my head, I'm thinking, this dog could be about to attack me. I don't know, but I'm welcoming it. And it didn't attack me. We had huge hugs and cuddles, and it was this awesome thing. And then the dog came with me, and it was hugging and loving on my parents too. So my first thing that I noticed today was this big white dog really stood out with how huge it was, and it triggered that dream memory. So that's my first sign. And then my second was I kept passing dead squirrels on the road. So, and they were like right in the middle of the road. Like my tires would go right over it. I saw 2 of them right after each other. So I wasn't going to count that as a sign until I saw the second one. I'm like, all right, I should probably count that as a sign because I've seen dead squirrels on the road before. And then the last one, this is where you come in too. I would like your advice on all of it, but especially this. As I'm driving and looking around for my next sign, I keep noticing the number 8 popping up in road signs and other signs. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of 8s. But I drive through there all the time, and I've seen these numbers before. And I'm like, okay, maybe the number 8 will be my thing. I'm not sure. So I turn on the radio. I'm like, I'm going to turn on the radio and see what comes up. And the first song, I couldn't really understand what they were saying. So I changed the station, and it's a Beatles song. And I'm singing along, and I don't even remember what this song is, right? But then it gets to the main part, and it's that 8 days a week. It's called 8 days a week. And I was like, all right, the number 8 is it has to be. It's throwing itself at me. Mm-hmm. So that gave me goosebumps, the number 8. Wow. So those are my 3 things that I want to use kind of as oracle cards to figure out where is the rest of me? How does this relate to that question?
Wow, that's rich, Lisa.
Yeah. And this was all within like 10 minutes as I'm driving down the road.
Yeah, that's really
I didn't even made it to the highway yet and all that happened.
Gosh, okay. So have you already done the Dreamwork process on it from a like symbology, association, reality check kind of stuff?
I jotted it down a little bit. So like my feelings, like is how I felt with all of this was like the number 8, when it came on the radio, gave me goosebumps. I was like, whoa, wow, okay, that is something like, and it made me think of you. And then synchronistically, Sarah texted me today.
I did.
and was like, do you want to Zoom? And I'm like, yep, because I was thinking about you because I had a number and all this stuff. So all of this is synchronistic, including this conversation right now with you. And then the huge dog made me think of my dream. And in the dream, I felt really comforted and happy because I had just found, like, it was almost like that dog was mine or something, even though I didn't recognize it. Mm-hmm. Almost like a reunion of sorts.
Yes.
The squirrels don't really give me much of a feeling other than everything ends someday. So it's kind of melancholic, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to explore it more, or do you want some, if these were my symbols, how I might think about them?
Yeah. I tried to do like a reality check, but I mean, I don't really know any white dogs. The reality check for that dream would have been seeing one in real life, but that was after the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrels, it's autumn, so they're all over the place. It's not surprising that they're getting smushed on the road, poor squirrels. But I mean, they're running around everywhere.
Yeah.
The number 8 to me, it's not one of my big numbers. So 7 is a big number of mine. But 8 is generally not.
Okay.
I don't have any strong feelings around the number 8.
Okay.
And what I want to know about all of this is, does this relate to the question I asked on where is the rest of me? Yeah. So if you have any feelings or thoughts, I would be happy to hear them.
I do. Okay. So because of the number piece, and I like to play with numbers, but I'm not an official all right. expert numerologist. I'm totally not. But they are really fun and fascinating. And you've said a couple interesting things that we can do if these were my symbols, here is how I might think about them.
Awesome.
8, traditionally for me, meaning in my experience, traditionally has brought up kind of 2 prominent themes. The first theme is abundance. So 8 being a number of abundance, and sometimes I've even received it as in 3 times, 888 or 88. And also when it's turned on its side, right, it's the sign for infinity.
Oh, yeah.
So some people also equate abundance and infinity with death. And in Christian mysticism, it can be equated to an eagle and the sign of resurrection. And eagle having 8 times the ability, and this comes directly out of Ted Andrews' Animal Speak book, which I reference all the time. And I know, as an aside, that Robert likes us to get our own associations, which, I totally support. And I know you do too, because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But I had some affiliation and familiation. Did I say that word? That's a new word.
Oh, I love new words. Yes.
Familiarity with Ted Andrews' work before I met Robert Moss, right? Before I ever signed up for a course. That's what I'm trying to say. So some of those symbols were already kind of cataloged in my brain in one form or another. So in Ted Andrews' book, when he talks about eagle, I know that he speaks about eagle's ability to see, vision, is 8 times stronger than a human's. And so there is this kind of notion about the power of vision, right? The power of sight, the power of, and I equate that based on things that you've shared with me before, Lisa, when I think about your vision and your love of dreaming and the dream world, and also the multiverse.
Yeah.
Right? And the multiverse to me is a very future, far-reaching concept for kind of the average person. Right? So it makes me wonder if the multiverse and your love of the dreaming world and the connections between the waking world and the sleeping world aren't a kind of very powerful times 8 the normal human vision that you carry. And so that also makes me wonder, since you got goosebumps when you said the number 8, and then you said, I don't have as much association. Actually, the number 7 is a stronger association to me. And the number 7 is a divinity number. And a lot of people equate that to spiritual guidance, source energy, God, angels, whatever the person's orientation for, a higher self, right?
Right.
Yeah. And you said that number speaks more strongly to you. But when I think about the combination of those things, like, for instance, you saw a white dog and you threw your arms open and was, ready to welcome this dog. And that color white also can be a sign of, in some ways, a purity or an angelic realm or the white light, right? So higher realms of white light. It could even be a sign of resurrection. Again, that's more of a Christian mysticism kind of an orientation that a lot of people would affiliate with. I don't necessarily have strong ties to it, but it is one that, and I don't know if you have strong ties to it, which maybe is more important here. The notion that your parents were there, and then the two dead squirrels. And I wondered, at first I didn't get any squirrel notion, but then as you talked about it, I was like, oh, if we follow the resurrection theme, you have to die to be resurrected, right? Is a part of you living in the spiritual world, and is a part of you living in what we consider the material reality world, the earth plane world, right? And could it be two lives, two squirrels, two deaths that you shared with your now parents? So now we're in a reincarnation kind of a storyline.
Yeah.
And so could part of you be existing in spirit form and part of you be existing in material form, which relates to the number 7, a divinity story. A lot of people consider death a kind of an abundance because you get to experience the spiritual plane. So I could weave all that together in some kind of crazy orientation. But the multiverse notion tied to infinity is really compelling as part of a vision carrier, to the extent that you be a vision carrier. I'm so glad you said the thing about that the dog reminded you of the dream, because that seemed really significant, like an extra part of what you were getting out of that first white dog in the reality car, white dog in the dream. And for you, dreaming is like so much a part of who you are and how you are in the world. Dreaming is so strong. So I feel like part of you is always in the dream world. Part of Lisa is always in the dream world. And it could be in the spirit world, it can be in this world, but part of you is always in the dream world.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like it's a big part.
Yeah.
I was just saying to someone the other day, like sometimes I have to stay grounded, because I'm so daydreamy and I'm always somewhere else. Like I always feel like my head's in the clouds and I'm always, doing stuff I find fun, and I can't help myself but think about that stuff. But then I miss my turn, or I do these things. Like I'm not staying on track. I have so many to-do lists, because if I don't write it down, I'll stay up in the clouds. I have to keep grounded in this world. I have to make an effort to stay grounded in this world. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's part of what makes you dynamic and creative, and at least to my way of thinking, very powerful though, because your source of vivaciousness and creativity is always flowing, because you're always connected that way.
Aww,
I experience you as always flowing with new ideas and, new threads of what is possible, what could be. A lot of people don't experience that. They're not experiencing that kind of bubbly source energy for what's possible in their lives. So I think it's a gift.
That's what we're here to change, right? As dream teachers, we're here to, and this channel, it's here to open that world up to other people, and I experience that with you too. That's why I love our conversations. Like you feel so tuned in too. You have the psychic side of you that it's just always connected as well. So it's great. Like these conversations, like they could go on forever. When I talk to you, it's like, gotta stay grounded, gotta go to work. Like,
you're like, where am I supposed to be today?
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere. I'll just keep talking. So I really appreciate your feedback.
You're one of the few people I know, Lisa, that talks about the multiverse.
Really?
I mean, since we've been, friends, I know that you have really powerful dreams and you have a lot of spiritual experiences, but you're one of the few people that I've come into contact with that's regularly talking about the multiverse.
Yeah, I don't come into contact with a lot of people that do that.
Such powerful symbols, though. I love it. It is a really fun game. I mean, it's not just a game, but it's a fun perspective to carry. It's a fun outlook to remind us that we're both, what's the saying where, spirits living in a human body, or spirits having a human experience.
Yeah.
Very powerful saying that at least I need reminded of on a regular basis.
Yeah. In the multiverse, I look at it more, instead of reincarnation, I look at it more as parallel lives. It's all happening now, no matter what time period it might have been, future, past, whatever, it's all happening now. So there's some big concepts to wrap your head around for sure when it comes to that, which is why it's not normally a, water cooler topic of conversation for most people. It should be. It needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty powerful concept, though. If all time is happening now, all time is happening all the time. I think about like what we could know and how our ancestors are influencing our lives simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
And how our multiple expressions are interwoven in any given moment. I mean, it gets complex and intriguing fast.
It does. Yeah. And if you can learn how to tap into that, you can, do a lot of healing and bring back gifts and do all that, which is a lot of what active dreaming is about.
Yeah.
So I still have much to learn, and I'm looking forward to it for sure.
I love it. I so enjoy talking to you about these things. Can't get
I
enough.
enjoy it too. It's so good to talk to you. Thank you so much for your feedback on this.
You're very welcome.
I would love to have you back on someday for a longer video where we talk more about numerology, which you dabble in, and astrology and how they relate to dreaming, because I think it's a cool topic. I don't think you realize how awesome it relates to dream work, because it's like something you do naturally, but you always bring so much guidance to my dreams, and you have this awesome fresh perspective that I don't see because of your knowledge of all of that stuff, and it's awesome.
Well, I'd love that. I would, because that's just a giant playground for me.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it. We'll schedule it. We'll get you on here. So, all right. Thank you, Sarah. So how cool is it that Sarah ended up texting me on the same day that I found a number that I was that I need to talk to my friend, the numerologist. So that was a fun little conversation there. I think it wraps it up very nicely. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And until next time, happy dreaming.